Now, the Subway Final Word.
Oh, it's a blessing. I was definitely planning on, after the Cincinnati series, staying at home and sleeping in my own bed. But, I'll take not sleeping in my own bed to experience something like this. It's once in a lifetime.
He may not get any sleep at the All-Star game. Josh Harrison, a bit of a surprise on the All-Star team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Phillips, and welcome to the Subway Final Word, the show that invites you, the fans, into the conversation, and you can get your opinion on TV right here every Sunday night. And let's get started by introducing you to tonight's panelist. It's a Trib Total Media takeover. Penguins beat writer Josh Yohe, columnist Dejan Kovacevic, and Pirates beat writer Travis Sawchik are with us tonight. We'll be talking about the Pirates and whether they're really a playoff contender at this point or if they're just beating up on bad teams. We'll explore whether the Pirates should make another trade, and the Penguins will talk about their free agency dealings and the long-term future of one of their centers. But first, the All-Star selections. McCutchen, Watson, and Josh Harrison are in. Neil Walker is not. Did the right Pirates make the All-Star team? Dan, we begin with you.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, when Neil Walker went down with the injury, he pretty much was taken out of the conversation. That wasn't going to happen. Second base was going to be tough anyway in the National League. There's going to be discussion around baseball because that's just the way baseball is. Very self-absorbed, navel-gazing, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's agonizing. They're going to look at Josh Harrison's selection and say, what's this guy doing on the team? Josh Harrison's a guy, as Pittsburghers know, you have to see him play every day to appreciate him. You have to see the extraordinary plays that he makes sometimes on defense, the way he gets the bat on the ball, the way he's bounced all around the field, the value that he has to a team. And one other thing I'll throw in here, remember, it was the commissioner who decided to make the All-Star game a real thing. So managers do have the right to put players on the team that they think can help them win the game, including late-inning substitutions.
Travis?
Yeah, we all know Andrew McCutchen's an all-star. Tony Watson has been awesome. I think his last 30 appearances, he's got like a .29 ERA. He's been unbelievable. And it's refreshing to see that a reliever isn't judged by his save totals, that he's judged by his actual skills. The Josh Harrison story is great. He's made a real difference for the Pirates, but he's not an all-star. I think he's not in the top 60 in wins above replacement. There's better players that have been left off the team, like Anthony Rendon. So I like the Josh Harrison story as much as anyone, but he's not one of the best players in the National League.
Josh?
Well, Travis, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but something Dejan touched on is Josh Harrison's defense. It's very easy to look at a guy's offensive numbers and determine who's the best player. He has made extraordinarily good defensive plays in left field, right field, second base, third base. It doesn't matter with this guy. He's won the Pirates games this year because of that. So I'm glad he got in. Did he deserve it? Maybe not, but good for him. And I'm glad you touched on Tony Watson. I'm 34. I've been watching the Pirates all my life. I can't think of too many relief pitchers I've seen in a Pirates uniform who have been more impressive than this guy. And I love the fact that he's a lefty who doesn't just do it against lefties. He's just as dominant against righties. He's a special pitcher.
Well, position flexibility, gentlemen, is the big thing with Josh Harrison, as Dejan mentioned. Yeah. If you're going to play this game for real, you need a guy late in the game that can play anywhere if you're short on the bench. The one question I have for you guys, again, Neil Walker, no problem with him off the team. Travis?
Well, I think the injury hurt him. If he was healthy the whole first half, his counting numbers might have been up, the home run title might have been up, and he might have been in the All-Star conversation on the team. But I think the injury really hurt him, and his defensive play has been a tick down. Look at the defensive metrics this year. So I think he's a borderline candidate. You can make an argument either way, but the injury hurt those important counting numbers.
All right, a reminder to keep the comments coming. You can find us on Twitter at WPXI Final Word, on Facebook at The Final Word. Cliff is happy to see Josh Harrison on the All-Star team. He says Jay Hay plays for the love of the game, and he does what he is asked of. What's asked of him, I should say. Thank you, Cliff. You tweeted that better than I read it. There's still more baseball before the All-Star game. 7 games with the Reds and Cardinals, but the Pirates are starting in second place after sweeping the Phillies today. Are the Pirates a legitimate playoff contender, or have they just been doing well against bad teams? Travis, you're up first.
Yeah, they're a legitimate contender. I mean, if you look at their overall opponent strength of schedule, I think their opponents have a .504 winning percentage. If you look at baseball's RPI, the Pirates are 9th. So Yeah, they've taken advantage of their schedule recently, but they also played the Brewers when they were red hot to begin the year. I think that sort of balances out. And if you look at the run differential since May 1st, the Pirates are plus 12 with the best record in the National League. So regardless of who they're playing, they're pitching well. The lineup's stronger with Polanco, Marte playing well, and McCutchen at the top. So they're a legitimate contender, not maybe a National League title contender, but a contender to make the playoffs. Wild card, certainly.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm buying the Pirates right now in a pretty big way. They had a terrible April, no other way around it. Maybe that will come back to haunt them, but since May 1st, they've been one of the best teams in baseball, and they're doing it a little differently this season. This is a considerably better lineup than last year. Last season, as great as they were, there were a lot of 2-1, 3-2 victories when there just wasn't much offense to be had. This is a different kind of team, and they can beat you 7-6 or they can beat you 2-1 right now. They're doing it all, and I hear a lot of people say, they're beating up bad teams. Well, you know what? They used to be that bad team that was beaten up on. This is what good teams are supposed to do. That 8-2 homestand, that's what the good teams do. So they have a huge road trip coming up this week in St. Louis and Cincinnati, and I think it will tell us a lot about this team, but I'm pretty impressed with what I see.
The coming week is huge, no question about it, but I'll throw in a different wrinkle here. I've believed from the beginning that the Brewers were phony. Now, I thought they were really phony when they were 18 games over like they were. They've fallen back big time. I think you're going to see that team fall out of first place. That's going to leave the division between the Pirates and the Cardinals to decide. Right now, the Pirates are a half game ahead with obviously a whole lot of season left. But I think that's going to be the matchup that we focus on more than the wild card, more than anything as we go down the stretch. And that is my way of answering, yes, they're legit.
Beat up on the bad teams, split with the really good teams, and you're going to be in contention every year. The 4-game set with the Cardinals starts tomorrow night with Charlie Morton taking on Adam Wainwright, who's just 11-4 with a 189 earned run average. Pretty good stuff. We're shifting to the Penguins. Are they better? Are they a better team with the free agent moves they've made? That's the question we want to answer. Brad says, I think so. They got rid of a lot of dead weight, and the third and fourth line have some legit players now. Panel debates next on the Subway Final Word.